Shout out to the Haneys, man. Shout out to the Haneys, to Devin Haney and Bill Haney. Uh, because I'm gonna keep it real. They will fight anybody. They have fought anybody. They've dealt with so much adversity in the sport. The media tries to avoid them. Fighters avoid them. And this dude is definitely the one. He's the best fighter in the sport right now, ever since Bud retired, straight up. And even when he was young, he sized up Bud. A lot of people don't even know that. But if you don't know, his mother just passed. You know what I mean? Condolences, rest in peace to, Devin Haney's mother. Oops. Rest in peace to Devin Haney's mother, man. And one person of interest that continues to be brought up when it comes to Devin Haney is Gervonta Tank Davis. And the reason why Gervonta Tank Davis is always brought up is because they were at one point both the best two fighters at their division, right? They both sparred each other when they were younger. They were in the Mayweather gym together. You know what I mean? They both did spar each other. And people would ask them about each other all the time. They would say, why aren't you fighting each other? Blah, blah, blah. And at first, everybody was always quick to say Devin Haney's scared. Like, it was the fact that he had a dad that had people feeling like, man, he's soft, he's this, he's that. But the thing about it is, as time goes on, you realize a lot of these grown men that don't have any father figures in their house, they're jealous of what they got going on over there, what they built over there. You know what I mean? The fact that they were able to stay independent, be about their business, negotiate with the networks, promote themselves, and build, and not have to, be subject to the same rules. A lot of these fools are jealous, bro. And it shows up time and time again by how they move. And it's crazy. A lot of people are not in tune to these things. They don't know what's going on as far as just like how you can peep somebody who does carry envy on their heart, does carry that type of resentment towards somebody for what seems like no reason. But the public, they really do enjoy watching the back and forth. You know what I mean? They enjoy, hating on the person that seems like they have everything because they're like, oh, well, they don't care about what I have to say. They have everything. Part of that is true. But at the same time, it shows more about you than anything else. So today or yesterday, Gervonta Davis decided to, hate on or, speak down on Devin Haney's mother passing, right? And again, emotional move, another L from Gervonta Davis. He's been ducking the fade from Devin Haney for a cool minute. They kept calling him out. They kept telling him, yo, we want that fade. And the reason why this person is serious, Devin Haney is serious as opposed to a lot of other people, is because they sent him offers on the table. When there was nowhere for him to go but through Devin Haney, he went and fought people no one asked him to fight. Tank Davis did. Devin Haney becomes undisputed in the weight class that Tank and Shakur Stevenson both exist in. Shakur got knocked off because he turned the fade down publicly recently. So now everyone's looking at Tank like, hey, you're about to fight Jake Paul. So how is Devin Haney too big all of a sudden when you're about to fight a 200-pound man on Netflix and put your whole career at risk, retire, right? Retire. And then you got all types of issues where, you're doing all this grimy stuff that, Devin Haney never did. Bill Haney and Devin Haney are both great for the sport, and it's getting out of hand how people go out of their way to either act like they don't exist or to, you know, speak down on them, bro. It's nasty work. But Gervonta Davis, he spoke down on Devin Haney, and when this is the post that he posted where he was like, she's doing the same thing her son did and this and that, right? I don't really want to it's ugly to post something like that on your main feed, and to keep it real, I don't even want to publicize that like that because that's just spreading more of what the problem is. But after everybody was on his head for that, right? He's like, "Oh, it's crazy how Buddy talked about my mom for his mom to check a few days later. Now post that." So he's saying, "Oh, Devin Haney made fun of my mom, right? Mind you, his mom is still alive." And what Devin Haney did was he told him, Happy Father's Day. He told Tank like, Happy Father's Day. He really made fun of Tank for not having a dad. And he posted Tank's mom and was like, Happy Father's Day to your dad, and or something like he was basically like Um, it's it's sad that you're broke and your son made you move out of his house, something like that, right? And let me see if I can find it because he did make a post. Uh, just can't find it. Yeah, here's the post. So he said, "I'll post Tank Dad for Father's Day since he won't. Happy Father's Day, Big Tank. That's messed up. You broke and you made him move out that house." So I think it was. I'm not sure if he's saying that Tank made his mom move out that house and now she's broke, or I'm not. Gervonta Davis is obviously not the broke one. So if you use your context clues, you can kind of put together what he's trying to say, right? So Tank was saying this is the reason why he dissed his mom, right? Again, no one is taking into account. There's there on Tank's burner account because Tank made a burner account. He was on Twitter going back and forth. Tank posted this where he said, "Your mom is a dope fiend. Your mom is a dope." So again, he was saying Devin mom has a pimp, and guess who's her pimp? Somebody posted Tank and said, your mother's a dope fiend. Your mother's a dope fiend. Whatever. And then this dude G Money on his G Money was Gervonta Davis's burner account. It was confirmed, after some time. Um, but he said him mad. Devin mom is a pimp, and guess who's her pimp? So he's saying like, oh, Bill Haney, because Bill Haney did used to be a pimp back in the day in Oakland, and a few other things that he was pimping out Devin Haney's mom or whatever the case, right? So he decides to disrespect Devin Haney's mom first back in the day, and then that's why Devin posted that picture of Gervonta Tank Davis's mom, and they're kind of going back and forth. And then when Devin Haney's mom passed, Tank was like decided to make fun of the fact that she passed, which is completely different, completely out of body. To keep it real, he started this with this tweet, bro. You know what I mean? He started this with this tweet. So here's what I'll say, right? Everybody that has been fans of Tank Davis up to this point, the one thing they've always avoided was the fact that Devin Haney would I think he sparks Tank Davis, number one. Two, it's always been a matter of people talking crazy about Devin Haney, but then it's like, okay, cool, let's make the fight. All of the fans of Tank Davis try to pour water on the fight. They don't want the fight to happen. And this isn't a boxing channel, but a lot of boxing channels are not good boxing channels because they don't keep it real. They don't call history for what it is. These guys, Devin and them had Tank on the list. They called out Tank. They put an offer on the table. Them boys didn't take it. They called everybody out. They not just called out, but they put offers on the table for everybody. We just seen the Rolly and Tio fight this weekend. Both them boys turned the fights down. They turned the offers down. You know what I mean? Rolly and them, they offered a non-guarantee. So basically, they offered Devin Haney and them a percentage of nothing. There was no money on the table, and they were just saying, "Oh well, let's just see how the back end does." But that doesn't make sense. So who would take a deal where there's no money on the table? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, I think that again, this was an underhanded move from Tank Davis. He's been, he's been very, an emotional dude, making a lot of underhanded moves. To be honest, it doesn't really surprise me at this point, at this juncture, given the fact that this man made a burner account and was just tweeting all of these different fighters and everything like that from a burner account. And anytime he gets called out for the hypocrisy of his moves, he disappears. He runs away from the fame. You know what I mean? He runs away from the spotlight. It's a cowardice move, and I think that all of this stems from the fact that these dudes don't have any dads, and they always lash out when it comes to Devin Haney's name, man. Keyshawn Davis was like, "We don't need a dad. We don't need a dad," screaming at the camera. Then he turns down the fight when he gets offered. He gets straight up offered, and it goes all the way to purse bid. And even his network, everybody's like, "All right, man, we got the money. Let's fight." And he said, "No, I want like $3 more million or whatever the case." As if people wouldn't have just gotten that to him. He turned the fight down, bro. He didn't sign. Shakur Stevenson turned the fight down. It's funny because all of these dudes have the same thing in common: no dads. and they're moving like it. And the thing about, young black kids that have no dads, there's always that complex where they feel as though if you do have a dad, a two-parent household, if your parents take care of you, you're soft automatically, right? Like you're soft, you had it given to you. Me coming from a two-parent household, I can relate because again, people, especially black kids growing up, they would look at you some type of way because for the most part, they did not come from two-parent households. At least, growing up in my neighborhoods and a lot of the hood and places where street activities go down. The kids without a dad gravitate towards the streets or hang out with people who are in the streets, and then they say, "Oh yeah, I'm part of the streets as well." No, you're not. You were boxing. Hank is not a street guy. He's LARPing, bro. He's LARPing. Not a street guy. Never had to pull no triggers, rob nobody. He was boxing since a kid. He was not. He was in athletics. Now he was in an environment that's dangerous, but he was not a street guy. So again, a lot of these guys are cosplaying and LARPing as street guys. This is what a lot of black kids with no dads do. They LARP and they cosplay as street guys. They emotionally lash out. They're emotionally volatile. And then when you approach them on some man shit, they decide to try to make fun of you and say, "Ah, you mad." But then if you sock one of them or if they get into it with you or whatever the case, because they quick to fight, just like how mom is quick to get that belt. Because a lot of single moms, they be on that belt trying, but a mom can't raise a man, bro. Can't. It is what it is. Mom can't raise a man. A woman cannot teach a man how to be a man. She just can't. So what we have is an influx of these men, of these young individuals, right? These boys who are, they've matured, but they're stuck in the mentality of a young boy on the internet doing things that young boys do, but he's 30 years old. Nasty work. Nobody told him that this ain't the move. Nobody got in that ear. So now we have to, now, even people who normally dislike Devin Haney are looking at this move like, this ain't it, bro. Like he tried to do something to go viral, or maybe he just couldn't contain his emotional volatility and he had to do something. He had to say something. And when he did, it doesn't seem like the people are rocking with it. And anybody who is behind this is your guy. Y'all have made such hams out of yourselves for defending this dude that he is almost like when I hear someone is a Ryan Garcia fan, someone is a Tank stan, that lets me know exactly what type of dude you are because of the character they've displayed over the years and the fact that you endorse and condone that. That lets me know everything I need to know about you. Straight up. Straight up. That lets me know everything that I need to know about you because it shows me what you're willing to endorse. So, anyways, y'all leave your thoughts in the situation. I think this is overall nasty work. You know what I mean? This is uncalled for. And nobody, and in the same breath, he posted this, and then right afterwards, he recognized the boxer who just passed away. Because there was a boxer who did just pass away. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to him. But that's ironic and it's nasty, bro. It's not a good look. So if you do all this and still turn the fade down again, donkey of the year, bro. At that point, you'll be better off never coming back. Because if you come back to fight anybody that's not Devin Haney after moving like this, no one's gonna take you serious. People already look at you some type of way because of the Jake Paul move. Because you said Devin Haney was too small, or now you said he was too big, but you're willing to fight a 200-pounder because of the skills. And then that sparring video came out, and Devin, at 17 years old, put tips on you. You already a pro, and you said, "Oh, I was out of shape." I don't know, man. Then we seen the Rolly and Tio fight. That was the bottom bowl. Them boys look crazy, and they both turned the Devin fade down. We know why now. You know what I'm saying? We know why now. Tired of these narrative driven, these media built fighters that are not fighting any of their peers. They're fighting random people, and the people are so dumb. No Child Left Behind is starting to show his head. They don't have critical thinking skills. They don't even care. People just want to be entertained, but I don't know how this is entertaining. I don't. So with that being said, bro, I'm gonna catch you on the next video. This is ultimately a shame. I'm out, man.